TGIF.
Okay, hi. I didn't know you were going to jump into it.
I wanted to say that.
Look at you, taking initiative. Must have something to do with you doing the interview you did a while ago by yourself. Did a nice job.
You know, I didn't have the impression that I was going to be doing that until you texted me at 9 o'clock saying that I was doing it.
Well, I was out yesterday, obviously, and spent most of it dealing with a head cold. But outside of that, I thought he can do it because he said he was going to be able to do it if I couldn't make it on Friday when we were discussing, do I take Thursday off? Do I take Friday off? You said, I can do it.
I did say that.
But
then you took Thursday off, so I assumed you would take it.
Uh-huh. But
it's okay.
You did well. He's coming right along, folks, isn't he? Isn't he a good kid?
I try my best.
We appreciate you watching the program here today. This is the daily show where we take time to update you on the good things happening in our communities. And we've got a number of things that people that ask questions about, so we'll share some of that for you here in a moment in regards to fish fries and that sort of thing. It is the Lenten season, so we'll go over some of that for you here shortly. First, though, let's take a look at what's going on with our forecast as we head towards the weekend. If you haven't been outdoors yet, it is windy outside, and maybe you've heard the wind. But winds gusting to near 40 knots early this afternoon. Temperatures begin to drop as well. I have a high about 53 today, but then it'll start to drop down into the 30s, and we'll see an overnight low around 28 degrees to start your morning tomorrow. Saturday's high with some sunshine will reach only in the mid-40s. And for Sunday, even colder. We'll be in the 20s and might get close to freezing. Our fingers are crossed on that. But Monday, back in the mid-20s again as you start work, and we might even see some snow showers, depending upon what the temperature is. Could be rain, could be snow showers.
Yeah.
But not accumulating snow. We're happy about that.
It's that time of year where you don't know what you're going to get.
Precisely. We always have said for many years, hey, you're in Ohio. It'll change the next day.
Yeah.
No question there.
We'll probably get a lot of snow in the morning and rain in the afternoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know when we were in Hawaii, it rains every morning. Every morning it rained. But it was over by like 9 o'clock, and then it was gone as if it didn't rain at all because it all just evaporated really quick, being that much closer to the equator. We had a good bit of rainfall late last night. We didn't have much in Pike County, but from what I was seeing on the radar going through, the way it was moving, it was coming right through the Ross County area. Did you have some?
I had less than I thought I would.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I could hear some thunder, but again, not as much as I thought I would be hearing.
Yeah. Well, I had my phone sitting next to me while I was typing on our website last night, and about 12:30, the EAS alert goes off for a flood warning, and flash flood warning, and it scared the bejesus out of me. It was sitting right on the arm of the chair, and next thing I knew, whee! So I had a quick reaction to it, but hopefully that didn't wait. Well, hopefully it waked you up if you needed to be, if you've lived in a flash flood plain area.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's to capture your attention, because it is a warning. But I was not, and it jolted me a little bit. So this weekend, cooler temperatures than it has been. So if you've put away the winter coat, you might need it before Monday. All right, coming up in a moment to look at news, sports, this date in history, and this week's Litter Media Player of the Week, thanks to our friends over at Neil Coleman Insurance, Wyandotte Mutual, and Homeland Credit Union. Details are all just ahead. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is your trusted comfort advisor. If you have issues with heating, maybe the cooling or the plumbing in your home or your business, make sure you give them a call. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you right to their website, accuratehvac.com.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance, Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
The Pike County Career and Technology Center provides hands-on, skilled trades training with engaging curriculums and endless possibilities. From automotive technology, carpentry, business management, to culinary arts and interactive media. From electricity, welding, HVAC, engineering, and medical technology, to pre-nursing, basic food service, and public safety. We're preparing our youth for America's workforce through today's technology. To learn more about Pike County CTC, visit pikectc.org.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Where can we be found?
LitterMedia.com. You'll find all sorts of information there. Stories we're going to share with you during the program here today. Our Haynes Total Health Care Center High School scoreboard's available there. You'll find the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. All that is up along the top. But in the right-hand corner, you'll find our X, our Facebook, our YouTube channel, our Spotify, Litter Media Radio. Even Instagram is up there as well. That's how you can find the many platforms we have through Litter Media.
And we're going to tell you about some of the stories you can find on there right now, including this one. The Ohio Power Siting Board has approved the construction of an 800-megawatt natural gas-fired electric generation facility in Jefferson Township in Fayette County. Bluegrass Power Generation LLC will construct and operate the power plant on a 100-acre site south of Jefferson West Lancaster Road and north of I-71, adjacent to the Midwest Mega Commerce Center, Ohio's largest certified job-ready site. You can read more about this project and more projects like it on littermedia.com in the article pictured here.
The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Forestry recently approved grant funding for 95 projects totaling more than $593,000 for fire departments in rural areas here of Ohio through the Volunteer Fire Assistance Grant Program. The grant's funds may be used by the fire departments to purchase all-terrain vehicles, wildfire water tanks and pump units, wildfire and structures, fire safety equipment, radios, tools, a lot of things they can use this money for, all to support the fire department operations and development. You can get more details in the story at littermedia.com.
February is National Unclaimed Funds Month, and Ohioans are reminded to check for any potential money they might have waiting to be claimed. Whether the money is in your name, a loved one's name, or your business, all it takes is a couple of minutes to see if you have any money waiting for you. And you know what? After I published this story, I searched my name, and I had one unclaimed fund, and it said it was worth less than $10, but I put in a claim.
Did you?
Yes.
Nice.
So hopefully I'll get that soon.
I did the same thing, and there were 5 entries for the name Ramey, and I'm not related to any of them, and I had never seen these names before, and under each one of them was under $10, under $10, under $10. But I have seen and heard people over the years that have had like a couple $1,000. Mm-hmm. That's nice to fall into.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Unclaimed funds. Ohio Chillicothe, forgive me, we're talking fish fries, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
I was looking ahead in the script. Annual Lenten fish fries are here. In Chillicothe, Bishop Leger School begins serving each Friday at the St. Mary's Life Center at 4th and Payne Streets here in Chillicothe. Starts today, 4 until 7 p.m. and runs right through March 27th. That's always a fundraiser for the class trip, wherever they're going, whether it be Washington, D.C., New York, Florida, wherever the case may be. But it's also good eating as well. Great City Church of the Nazarene on Orange Street in Chillicothe will start on March 7th, and that will run through April 18th. American Legion Post 62 in Chillicothe won't have fish today, but they will begin their fish fries next Friday. And St. Mary's Church over in Hillsboro on East Water Street, they begin theirs today, 4:30 to 7 p.m., and that runs through March 27th.
There we go. You've seen the 211 announcements during Litter Media Live. You probably saw one not 5 minutes ago because it was part of our first advertising block. 211 is a free, confidential helpline operated through the United Way of Ross County, connecting residents to housing support, utility assistance, food resources, mental health services, and more. They recently celebrated 211 Day, which I'm guessing was on February 11th. Because it's 211.
That explains it right there.
Here's Executive Director Andrea Williams marking the day with a proclamation signed by the Mayor of Chillicothe, Luke Feeney.
We started the campaign for 211 probably, it's been 6 years ago, I think, when Rick Smith was the CEO and president of Ross County's United Way. And we sat down, did a nice feature with him and everything. You can find that interview. It's still on our YouTube channel. But I had helped promote 211 in a small way through the radio station before we started with Litter Media. But then when I found out that United Way was working it so close and it was a main hub resource for all this information, that feature became very valuable. So, and I know when Andrea's been in, she says, thank you for running that to remind people that we have the 211 service through United Way. Ohio Chillicothe Interim Dean Michael Lefevre, he stopped in last week. In recent years, the Chillicothe campus is where students can get their 4-year degree. It used to be just 2, but now it's a 4-year degree and not have to go all the way over to Athens for the campus there. For parents and students looking to pay for their secondary education, it's a route worth taking.
I think they should. I know I did with my children, and a key aspect of looking at an education is to make sure it's affordable, and Ohio Chillicothe has maintained that for many decades. The ability to be one of the best approaches to a full complement of associate and baccalaureate degrees at that affordable level that makes it possible for students to, if you will, cash flow, allow them to not go into that debt that I think can sometimes be so alluring, to try to find ways to take their time to pursue a degree that can be managed financially over the long term. I've known many students who come to Ohio University for their associates in nursing, the baccalaureate in nursing, saving thousands of dollars because they made the prudent choice of recognizing the affordability of our offerings and the quality that Ohio University has long since established. And then those that actually might want to matriculate through Ohio University Chillicothe, again, saving thousands of dollars just in 1 or 2 years of differences in tuition when looking at other possible pathways that are in front of them.
Lefevre says there's about 1,100 students at the Chillicothe campus now, and counting their online students, they're well over 2,000. You can see the entire interview on our YouTube channel now.
Yes, you can. The Pickaway County Chamber of Commerce is looking for nominations for their annual awards banquet, which is taking place on March 26th. They're seeking nominations for the Gene Ankrum Retail Service Award, Business Pride Award, Nonprofit of the Year, Business Person of the Year, Chamber Ambassador of the Year, and these nominations need to be sent in by March 3rd. So you got a little over a week.
So get that taken care of.
Yes.
And they have to be a chamber member also. So keep that in mind.
Right.
The Highland County Senior Center will host its annual Elvis Presley Tribute Show performed by Tyler Christopher. Tickets for the March 21st show can be purchased in person at the center, or you can purchase them online at highlandseniors.com.
A reminder that the Knights of Columbus drive-through food distribution is from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. tomorrow behind St. Peter Church on the corner of Church and Water Streets. Try not to come early, because they don't want you blocking things before they're ready to get started.
Yeah, but there's a look at St. Peter's. Had St. Mary's on my mind because they've got the fish fry later this evening. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at what's making news in the world of sports. Big day. I actually sat and watched some of the Olympics yesterday before the evening show.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife allowed me to do it. She despises the Olympics.
I can't imagine that.
Just never has gotten into the Olympics, but she allowed me to do so. So I let her watch her professional wrestling and soap operas during what normally would have been Olympic time. We'll talk about that coming up. Well, not that I let her do that. We'll talk about the Olympic events coming up in just a moment.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Time for sports, and before we get into the normal things that we do, let's talk about the Olympics.
Let's talk about it.
The big event that happened yesterday, USA came away with the gold medal. Speaking of the women's ice hockey gold medal winning from Team USA. Americans tied Canada in the final 2 minutes, then got the game winner in sudden death overtime. I think in soccer they like to call it sudden victory now because they don't like that death part. But
it's more exciting.
It is more exciting, yeah. That means gold medal for a goalkeeper, Gwyneth Phillips from Athens. The only time I saw her on the ice was during the celebration and the medal portion of it as well. But she's from Athens, and I don't know if she goes to OU or how she got involved with the team. That's a story to be asked, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But she's going to probably have a parade of some sort in Athens, coming home with a big old gold medal around her, looking like Flava Flav, in that regard. The men's semifinals are going on now. Canada is facing Finland, and then Team USA plays Slovakia at 3:10 this afternoon. The winner will play for the gold medal on Sunday. Good luck, Team USA.
In high school sports, Uniota's Blake Fitch is the 2026 Scioto Valley Conference Player of the Year for a second consecutive year. The 1,000-point scorer averaged just over 13 points per game and helped lead the Shermans to another undefeated SVC season. Congratulations to Blake Fitch.
That is another gold ball right there. And Andrews Day from Adina, he was selected as the Coach of the Year. Now it's his 4th Coach of the Year honor, but he's the first in boys basketball, first for him, but he becomes the first basketball Coach of the Year to do so in both boys and girls basketball. How about that?
How about that?
Congratulations to Andrew. I met Andrew when his dad, Steve Day, came back to Chillicothe and was the athletic director at CHS. And that's where I met Andrew. I think he was still in college at the time. And so, of course, he's been out of Frankfurt for a number of years now, involved with the basketball program there. The rest of the teams include the first team, Blake Fitch, again, Joey Francis from Adina, Frankie Hirsch of Huntington, and St. Trace's Grady Stewart and Gunnar McCullough. They are on the first team. You can see the second, third, and honorable mention teams on our website right now at littermedia.com.
And now time for a look at the Haynes Total Healthcare Center High School scoreboard. Last night in girls basketball, the D2 district quarterfinals, Logan was a winner over Mount Vernon 48-47 in a tight one. In the D3, it was Uniota getting a win over Marietta 55-34. Also, winners were Sheridan, Hamilton Township, Linden McKinley. In the D4, the winners were Circleville, Hillsboro, Logan Elm, and McLean. And then the D7, White Oak beat Southern 49-37. South Gallia over Sciotaville 78-8. Trimble over Manchester 58-40. Sims Valley over Glenwood 49-60. And Portsmouth Clay getting a win over Western 60-12. Portsmouth and Notre Dame also victorious over Miller 66-32.
There were some boys games last night also.
Oh, shoot, there were?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, there was a lot of reading. Yes, boys basketball, non-conference. Miami Trace is getting a win over Wilmington 79-59. Jackson over Zane Trace 50-37. Ironton, Groveport, Madison, Eastern Brown, Chesapeake, all winners. Fayetteville beat Greenview. We don't have a score for that game, so if you have it, please let us know.
Actually, we do. I saw Joe Stewart post it on Facebook this morning. I think it was 67-51.
Okay.
Fayetteville winning.
There we go. River Valley over Vinton County 65-56, and Wellston over Ross County Christian Academy 55-49.
It was a lot of fun keeping up with the scoreboard last night.
I bet it was.
I'm going to be doing that tonight and again tomorrow night because you've guaranteed me that you're going to watch Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein, and Blazing Saddles this weekend.
Right.
Pretty cool.
He's been bugging me over and over to watch.
You can't go through life without having seen those movies.
I've seen Spaceballs. I've seen Spaceballs a number of times, but the other two I haven't seen.
Yeah, but that'll set the appetite for the theme for the next two movies. And another one I might suggest at some point in time is The History of the World Part 1.
But not Part 2?
Well, Part 2 was being teased. I never did see it come out, though. About this time last year, I think they had a trailer out for Part 2. And I don't know if it ever came to be, but make sure you check those out. Ross County Christian Academy honored longtime athletic director Roy Kelly before their basketball game last night with a heartfelt tribute. Congratulations to Roy on his retirement. And I'm not positive, but this picture might have been taken of him when he was on the air with me because that looks like one of our headsets. And last year, he did part of the broadcast with me, and he was a halftime interview, the whole deal, and saw him this past Tuesday night. But if you've not seen the video, you got to see it. It's a bunch of the kids, faculty members, and people who have been involved with Ross County Christian Academy over the years. And Roy and I first met him when he was baseball coach at Southeastern back in the 1980s. And he was on our radio station softball team. And then we kind of drifted away from one another. We both were working for Jim Day as when he was running the valet program at Adena. And so we were valets together and kind of reignited our relationship in that fashion. And when he became the AD at Ross Christian Academy, started sharing information with us. And he says, hey, can we get people out to these games? Can you help talk about our kids? And sure enough, they got to be this close to becoming members of the OHSAA. That's all I got to say about that. You know, they've done all the other stuff. They're this close. So good luck to both RCCA and New Hope Christian Academy also in finding the affiliation there.
Yeah, spring training camps are also open for Major League Baseball with exhibition games beginning today in Arizona and Florida. But you can see college baseball games this weekend at VA Memorial Stadium as the Chillicothe Paints begin their college schedule with Lake Erie College versus Saginaw Valley State today at 1 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m.
Might be a little windy out there today.
It might be a little windy.
You might see a lot of baseballs taken to the right field wall because if they hit them to the left field, I don't know that it'll go out today the way this wind's blowing.
Also, by the way, the Reds and Guardians open their spring schedules tomorrow in Goodyear, Arizona.
They will play each other, and the Reds will be the visiting team for that contest. So I get excited when baseball starts to show itself again. The Ohio State women look to bounce back from losing back-to-back games for the first time this year. They will host USC this coming Sunday.
Ohio State men also, they're going to be back in action tomorrow in East Lansing to face Michigan State, and that's going to be Sunday. Sorry, not tomorrow. Sunday at 1 p.m.
Now, Miami looking to go 29-0 Hard to believe. This has just been a magical season for the ball club down in Oxford. They'll host Bowling Green tonight. CBS Sports Network has the coverage for you. That tips off at 8:30 this evening.
The Rio Grande women also, they're going to head into their final regular season game at 26-1, which is still impressive.
That's impressive, yes.
They'll face Kentucky Wesleyan at 1 p.m. tomorrow. The Red Storm men are 15-12 and will finish up the regular season right after at 3 p.m. The River State Conference tournament for men and women begins on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. We've kind of drifted away from mentioning things with them here in recent weeks, but thought we best do a catch-up with them because after the River State's conference tournament, it's NAIA time, so we'll have more to talk about them for sure. Cleveland Cavaliers took the Nets last night rather handily, 112-84. They're back in Charlotte on the road tonight. They will find themselves tied with the New York Knicks for third place in the Eastern Conference right now.
And if you like soccer, the Columbus Crew, they're going to open the MLS season tomorrow night with Portland.
Yes.
Is that in Portland or in Columbus?
I think it's going to be in Portland because it's a 10:30 first kick.
Okay.
I can't picture them starting it that late in Columbus.
No, probably not.
But it doesn't say on all the schedules I looked to let you know that it's not being played in Columbus. So soccer is a completely different way of presenting things. They have all those friendlies and all, and it doesn't count against their MLS record and so on. They lend players to play in other leagues, and it's just odd. But it is a fun spectacle to experience if you go to Columbus and see it in person. It really is.
I'll take your word for it.
I've not been to the new stadium yet. I've been outside and driven around it. My wife, who had eye surgery, the place where the surgery was taking place is over by Huntington Park and the soccer stadium. But I have not been there I've been to the old Crew Stadium there at the State Fairgrounds, but not the new one yet. So, and from everything I've seen on TV and from things you see on the internet and all, it looks like you're in another place. You're not in Columbus, Ohio. It's that kind of a setting.
Wow.
Really cool.
I haven't seen any photos or anything of it, so I don't know. I have no reference.
This summer, you'll have to, somebody make a way to get him up to see the Columbus Crew in action. Time for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And this week's player is a 1,000-pointer. We saw this happen this past Tuesday night in Ross County Christian Academy's bout with New Hope Christian Academy. Nathaniel Clevenger, not only did he score his 1,000th point, just 4 points into the contest, he had multiple rebounds. So he had a double-double this past Tuesday, 15 points, and he probably finished with 12 to 13 rebounds as well. And he's a guard. That's what makes that so impressive.
Yeah.
You just don't see that very often.
Absolutely.
But if you want to make a nomination, congratulations, Nathaniel. By the way, you can hear the interview that we did with Nathaniel after the game Tuesday on our podcast page. Just go to littermedia.com. And up across the top, it says sports, and it's got Litter Media Radio. That will take you right to where you can find the games and the podcasts that we've had for you. You can send your nominations of that. Make sure they're an amateur player. We don't want anybody saying, okay, I think Ely De La Cruz ought to be the player of the week. We can't do that. But if they're a college athlete, if they're Little League, if they're somebody in a bowling tournament somewhere for the Eagles or the Elks, you're eligible. You're eligible. So if you'd like to participate, send us an email and send that nomination to littermedia@gmail.com.
And that's sports.
Mm-hmm. Coming
What's
up
next?
This date in history. Details next.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane, online propane monitoring and reporting. During your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank, you can find out more at litterpropane.com.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Time for this date in history as we turn the clock back to 1944. And no, this isn't World War II.
No, it's not.
It is Batman and Robin. The comic strip makes its first appearance in newspapers. The characters have been around for 5 years already in comic books, but their newspaper appearance would make them even more of a household name. Batman and Robin. 1944.
Are you a Batman fan?
You know, it's kind of, I was always a Spider-Man guy. So, but I know there are people who are hardcore DC Comics, and then there are people who are hardcore Marvel. Some like both, but I know some stay with one and not the other. When I worked at Sunny 95, the late Bob Nunley was a big Batman fan. And when Batman first came out in the movie versions in the 1980s, he had the black T-shirt with the yellow logo on it, and such a presence he made when he walked into the studio.
Well, let me tell you this. There was a guy I went to college with, and his last name was Batman. But the first time I met him... His last name was Batman. The first time I met him, he was wearing a Batman T-shirt.
Yeah.
And everyone was calling him Batman, so I thought it was because of his shirt.
Yeah.
And so I went the longest time without knowing that was his real name.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
It is cool. I wish that was my name. Imagine being Dan Batman.
Did he have a sister named Robin?
I don't think so.
Or maybe a brother named Robin?
As far as I know, he didn't have siblings. But
that'd have been cool. Maybe he married somebody.
Maybe.
And the name Robin Batman.
That'd be cool.
Wow. I never imagined someone saddling their kid with something like that. But being his last name, I guess you kind of saddled with
the name has been around longer than the character of Batman, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault. It's not anybody in that family's line fault that it happened
sure his
to
name
them.
Wasn't Bateman and they just dropped the E?
It was Batman. Spelled like Batman.
That's incredible. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, you do.
Speaking of which, it's National Day.
It is. So you're about to learn some new things. Mm-hmm. February 20th, it's Cherry Pie Day.
I love cherry pie.
Comfy Day. So
I like being comfy.
Yeah. Leadership Day.
I don't like being a leader sometimes.
We had Pam Snyder in, who's the president of the Ross County Farm Bureau, earlier this morning.
She was a leader.
Should have told her, Happy Leadership Day.
Yes.
Love your pet day.
I love my pets.
Yeah. Muffin Day. So you can have cherry pie and a muffin today. But I wouldn't recommend putting tartar sauce on it, and it's also tartar sauce day.
Well, unless it happens to be like a corn muffin. It might go okay with that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But tartar sauce day, of course, for Lent.
Ah, yes.
The fish fries.
Yes. Also, Caregivers Day.
Uh-huh.
And we have some facts about Leadership Day here if you would like to read
Oh, is
them.
that right?
Yeah.
So I get to, you're leading by saying, here, do this.
Yes.
Is that delegation? Integrity, honesty, ethics, and trustworthiness are essential for building trust and respect. Communication. This is part of following the leader. Effective communication skills, verbal and written, are crucial for conveying ideas and inspiring others. Empathy, understanding and responding to the needs and emotions of others, fosters strong relationships. Just like me deciding the other night, I'm not going to send him a text at 11:30 because he'll certainly be in bed. But he texted me at the same time, and I thought, okay, he's awake. So the next night, I send him another text about the same time, and he says, I'm already in bed. What are you doing?
That is true.
And self-awareness, recognizing one's strengths and weaknesses enables personal growth and effective leadership. All for National Leadership Day. There you go. Now here, take that and put it back in your box.
I will.
He's been saving these because I have a feeling you want to continue it next year, huh?
I don't know. I just I didn't want to clog up the trash can. I don't have a plane with them.
What a lead in for recycling, huh?
Yeah.
All right. That's it for the program today. We're back at it again on Monday. Hope to see you then. If we don't see you at a ball game or something this weekend, enjoy your weekend. And hopefully we'll get a chance to meet up with you at some point in time down the road. Thanks for watching Litter Media Live.